If you want to replace oil in gluten-free bread baking but still keep it soft and spongy, you have landed on the right video. I tried whole food alternatives to oil for you, and let's just say things didn't go exactly as planned, but every test teaches us something new, right? So today we are putting 3 new contenders to the test. Version A is just 50% less oil. Can we get away with just 1 tablespoon? Version B, it's a flax egg. We are hydrating the flax first this time to avoid the dry texture. So I used 2 tablespoons of ground flax seeds and 6 tablespoons of water, mixed and rested for 10 minutes. And version C is the hemp cream. I used 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds blended with 2 tablespoons of water. Alright, let's bake them. The recipe. The base recipe is mostly made of quinoa and lentils, as you can guess. First wash and then soak overnight with a splash of apple cider vinegar, the quinoa and the red lentils. The next day rinse and drain, then mix them with 100 milliliters of water and salt. And now the test starts by adding our different fat options. Option A, so I'm just adding 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Option B, I'm adding the flax egg. And option C, the hemp cream. Mix very well, and then to each container I'm adding the baking soda, the vinegar, then mix. Then the cinnamon husk. Mix again. The batters will thicken up very quickly from there. Fermentation and baking. Because I still don't have an oven with a proof setting, I used a hot water bottle instead. I just tucked it in with my containers under a blanket for 8 to 12 hours, changing the water once halfway through or so. And I also learned that you can also use an oven with just the light on for gentle warmth. Now let me share with you what I observed after fermentation. The smell. So there was definitely this fermentation smell that I can't really describe. It's a bit sour. However, when I smelled again, I could definitely smell the olive oil from the olive version, version A. From the version B, the flaxseed version, it smelled more earthy. And from the hemp version, it smelled like red lentils. And I assume it's because hemp seeds are pretty neutral in flavor that the lentil flavor stands out. When it comes to the texture, all versions were bubbly and slightly spongy. Only the oil version was stickier. The flax and the hemp version, for some reason, were easier to handle and clean up. When I was shaping the doughs, I quickly noticed that the hemp version was the spongiest. Easy to handle, warm, and really nice in my hands. And this is exactly when I realized my mistake. Do you see it? You probably spotted it from the beginning. Yes. I used a completely different container for the hemp version. It means that I didn't keep the conditions the same. Different containers can hold and transfer heat differently, and that can affect how the dough ferments. So this result might be because of the hemp, the container, might be because of both. I just don't know. And I'm not crying. I messed up. Again. But it's okay. You will see that we most likely have a winner nevertheless. Once you're done with shaping them, you can decorate them as you want. Then bake them at 180 degrees Celsius, 360 Fahrenheit for 55 minutes. And they are ready! They all baked very well. Honestly, at this stage, there was no noticeable differences in sponginess. So this is the one with oil. Okay. This is the one with flax. Okay. And this is the one with hemp seed. Oops, I don't know if you saw it. For me, this shows that we're progressing toward an oil-free, soft, spongy bread. Because that was not the case in the first iteration. So something is happening. Now let the buns cool completely before testing. Taste and texture test. That's a lot of T's. Taste and texture test. Can you say that fast? Taste and texture test. Taste and texture test. Taste and texture test. Wow, that's hard. Let's be serious again. Day 1. Let's evaluate together the texture. What do you guys think? Do you notice any difference? If you want me to go straight to the point, what's the best of the best of the best? The best version is the version C on day 1. The hemp cream version is the softest, is the spongiest, for sure. The difference with the others was very obvious to me. I'm talking about the crumb and the crust. The texture is very nice as the oil version we tested last week, but without the oil. And it smells pretty neutral to me. I'm very proud. The version A, so that's the version with the reduced oil, is still soft, but less than the version we made last week with 2 tablespoons of oil. It's mostly the crust that's a bit drier, not the crumb. But at least there is no fried food smell. And the last one is the version B, the flax egg version, which is definitely softer than the previous 6 tablespoons flax attempts from last week. But in this current test, not only the crust is drier, the crumb as well. That being said, guys, all 3 are still very good. I'm just comparing them. In fact, I wouldn't mind making the recipe again if I had only flax seeds or oil on hand. And honestly, once toppings are added, differences are minimal. Day 2 and 3, I store them all in a glass container, covered, and the hemp version remains the softest. But they all stay soft and enjoyable. I mean by that none are actually becoming drastically dry after a day or 2. Not at all. I toasted them, tried them plain, and they are very good. However, for longer storage, let's say more than 3 days, please put them in the fridge. Nutrition and costs. Alright, for this video, I won't calculate the full batch nutrition or cost yet because we are not done with testing. But here's a quick look at what each oil substitute brings in terms of health benefits and rough cost. All 3 add fat, but oil is purely fat. Flax and hemp seed also bring protein and fiber on top. If cost matters to you, hemp seed are the most expensive one and flaxseed are actually pretty affordable. When I'm looking at this table, I'm really tempted to make a version mixing flaxseed and hemp seeds so that I can benefit from the protein and fiber power from each. Final rating. Alright, so I don't know for you, but I definitely learned a lot. And I think that I can now confirm that replacing 2 tablespoons of oil with 1 or a flax egg or hemp cream are good options. They still give a great result. So it's up to you to choose which one will help you reach your health goal or matches your budget. That being said, I have the feeling that the hemp cream is the winner in this test. But I can't confirm that yet. So next, I will be back in the kitchen using 3 identical containers to give you a definitive answer. So I guess I'll see you next week. Bye!